What if you could walk through life's fiercest storms, whether a heated argument, a sudden loss, or the weight of a chaotic world, and remain as still as a mountain lake, untouched by the winds of turmoil? Imagine standing in the eye of life's hurricanes with criticism, negativity, and pain swirling around you, yet your heart remains a sanctuary of calm. This isn't a distant dream. It's a power you can cultivate today. At Daily Buddhist, we're diving into 10 timeless Buddhist principles to help you build an unshakable inner peace, a resilience that no external force can disrupt. Picture this. A rare cosmic alignment is stirring the energies of the universe, amplifying our emotions and challenging our sense of stability. This celestial event, occurring now in the spring of 2025, is a call to awaken, a reminder to turn inward and find the stillness that has always been within you. Take a moment to reflect. When was the last time you felt truly at peace, unshaken by the chaos around you? Perhaps it was during a quiet walk through a forest, the scent of pine filling the air, or a moment of connection with a loved one, their laughter echoing like a gentle bell. Hold that feeling close as we embark on this journey together, weaving Buddhist wisdom with modern experiences to guide you toward lasting serenity. Let's begin. In the teachings of Buddhism, we learn that insults or harsh words only hold the power we grant them. Imagine you're walking through a bustling city, let's say the vibrant streets of Kyoto, Japan, where the air hums with the energy of ancient temples and modern life. The narrow alleys are alive with the scent of street food, grilled yakitori skewers sizzling over charcoal, and the chatter of locals and tourists alike. You're on your way to a mindfulness retreat, your mind already seeking calm, when someone cuts you off in the crowd. A young man, let's call him Haruto, hurls a sharp remark your way. "Watch where you're going, idiot." His words are like a sudden gust of wind, sharp and unexpected, threatening to disrupt the peace you've been cultivating. It stings for a moment, doesn't it? Your heart races and a wave of defensiveness rises within you. But here's the secret. You don't have to let that gust topple you. Those words are a gift of negativity, and you have the choice to refuse it. Instead of reacting with anger or hurt, take a deep breath. Feel the air fill your lungs, grounding you in the present. Picture the insult as a fleeting cloud drifting across a vast, endless sky. It appears dark and heavy, lingering for a moment, but it doesn't stay, and it doesn't have to weigh you down. The cloud moves on, carried by the winds of impermanence, and the sky, your mind, remains clear and untouched. By choosing not to engage, you protect your inner peace, a sanctuary that no external force can breach. I remember a time when a colleague, let's call her Aiko, snapped at me during a stressful project deadline at a tech startup in Osaka. We were racing against a tight deadline, the office buzzing with tension, when Aiko criticized my work in front of the team. "You're slowing us down. Can't you do better?" Her words cut deep, and I felt a flush of shame. But I paused, took a breath, and reminded myself, her frustration isn't about me. It's a reflection of her own stress, her own struggles. That simple act of stepping back allowed me to respond with kindness instead of conflict. I smiled, acknowledged her pressure, and offered to help. The tension dissolved, and we ended up collaborating more effectively than ever. Consider the source of the negativity. Often, people project their own insecurities or pain onto others. Haruto's harsh words in Kyoto might stem from a bad day. Perhaps he's late for an important meeting, or he's carrying the weight of a personal struggle. Aiko's criticism might reflect her fear of failure, not my actual performance. What they say reveals more about their inner world than it does about you. When you understand this, it becomes easier to let go, to let the words pass without taking root in your heart. This principle is deeply rooted in mindfulness, observing the insult without judgment, without attachment. It's about recognizing that the negativity isn't yours to carry. You might even take a moment to silently wish them well. May Haruto find peace in his day. May Aiko find ease in her stress. This act of compassion not only protects your peace, but also plants a seed of kindness in the world. Practically, you can cultivate this skill in small moments. The next time someone cuts you off in traffic or a stranger snaps at you in a coffee shop, pause. Feel the emotion rise, but don't let it take over. Ask yourself, is this worth my peace? Then let it go. Over time, this practice becomes second nature, and you'll find that even the sharpest words lose their power to disturb you. Your response is your power. Choose calm, and the insult becomes nothing more than a passing breeze. unable to shake the stillness within you. Buddhism teaches that every person we meet serves a purpose. They're either a teacher or a test, guiding us toward growth. Imagine you're at a community gathering in a small coastal town, perhaps somewhere like Hoi An, Vietnam, with its lantern-lit streets and warm ocean breeze. The night market is alive with color, red and gold lanterns swaying in the breeze, the aroma of pho simmering in a nearby stall, and the sound of laughter mingling with the gentle crash of waves. You're there to connect with locals, hoping to learn about their traditions, when you meet two people who leave a lasting impression. The first, a kind elder named Min, sits cross-legged on a woven mat, sharing stories of resilience from his youth during difficult times in the region. His eyes crinkle with warmth as he speaks of how compassion carried him through loss, inspiring you to embody that same generosity in your own life. The second, a frustrated vendor named Lin, snaps at you over a small misunderstanding about the price of a silk scarf. You tourists never listen, pay up or leave. Her tone is sharp, her face flushed with irritation, testing your patience in a moment when you least expect it. Instead of seeing Lin as an obstacle, view her as a teacher in disguise. Her irritation offers you a chance to practice self-control, understanding, and forgiveness, qualities that Buddhism holds dear. Ask yourself, what is this moment teaching me? How can I grow from this? Perhaps Lin's frustration is a mirror, reflecting your own tendency to react when things don't go your way. By staying calm, you strengthen your ability to remain grounded under pressure. Min's kindness, on the other hand, reminds you of the beauty of generosity, showing you how a single act of compassion can ripple outward, touching lives in ways you may never see. Together, these encounters, positive and negative, become opportunities for growth, helping you refine your character and deepen your practice. I once had a neighbor in my apartment building in Hanoi, let's call him Taro, who constantly complained about everything: my music, my dog's playful barks, even the way I parked my bike in the shared courtyard. At first, I felt frustrated, my mornings often starting with his grumbling voice through the thin walls. But then I shifted my perspective, inspired by this Buddhist principle. Taro was my test, teaching me patience and empathy. I started greeting him with a smile, asking about his day, even bringing him a small gift: a jar of homemade mango jam from a local market. Over time, his gruff exterior softened, and we began to share stories over tea. He told me about his struggles with loneliness since his wife passed, and I realized his complaints were a cry for connection, not a personal attack. By seeing him as a teacher, I not only preserved my peace but also built a friendship I never expected. This principle invites us to approach every interaction with curiosity and openness. The barista who gets your order wrong, the friend who cancels plans last minute, the stranger who offers a kind word, they're all part of your journey. Each encounter, whether it brings joy or frustration, is a chance to practice mindfulness and compassion. You might even keep a journal, noting at the end of each day, who did I meet today and what did they teach me? Over time, you'll see how this mindset transforms your relationships and your inner world, making you unshakable in the face of life's ups and downs. When you view everyone as a teacher or a test, no interaction is wasted, and no challenge can disrupt your peace. Envy is a natural emotion, but in Buddhism, it's seen as a thief of peace, a poison that clouds the mind and heart. Instead of letting it consume you, transform it into emulation, a powerful tool for growth. Picture yourself scrolling through social media in your cozy apartment in a city like Chiang Mai, Thailand, surrounded by the scent of jasmine from a nearby market. The evening is quiet, the golden light of a lantern casting soft shadows on the walls, when you see a post from a friend, let's call her Priya. She's beaming in a photo, celebrating her latest achievement: a promotion at her dream job, a new yoga certification, a radiant smile that seems to light up the screen. A pang of envy stirs within you, a tightness in your chest. Why does she seem to have it all together while you're still figuring things out? But wait, don't let that feeling fester. Buddhism offers a better way. Ask yourself, what is it about Priya that I admire? Is it her dedication, the way she rises early to practice yoga on her balcony overlooking the rice fields? Is it her confidence, the way she speaks with clarity and warmth? Or perhaps it's her ability to chase her dreams, unafraid of failure. Now, how can I cultivate those qualities in my own life? By turning envy into admiration, You redirect that energy into self-improvement. Instead of dwelling on what you lack, focus on how you can grow. This isn't about competing with Priya. It's about growing alongside her, inspired by her light. You might decide to start your own morning routine, waking up to the sound of birds in Chiang Mai, and dedicating 15 minutes to meditation or stretching. Or you might take a small step toward a goal you've been putting off, inspired by Priya's courage. I once envied a friend, let's call him Kale, who seemed to have it all: confidence, a thriving career as a freelance photographer, a serene demeanor that drew people to him like a magnet. We met at a cafe in Bangkok, the air thick with the aroma of Thai coffee, and I couldn't help but feel a twinge of jealousy as he shared stories of his latest project, a photo series on rural life in northern Thailand. But instead of resenting him, I asked myself what I could learn. I admired his discipline, the way he carved out time each day to hone his craft, even when he was exhausted. So I started adopting his habit of morning meditation, sitting on my balcony with a cup of tea, watching the sunrise over the city. Over time, I noticed my own sense of calm deepen, my focus sharpen. Envy became a catalyst for growth, not a source of bitterness. This practice is about shifting your perspective from scarcity to abundance. Envy tells you there's not enough success, happiness, talent to go around. But Buddhism teaches that we're all interconnected, that someone else's light doesn't dim yours. By emulating the qualities you admire, you honor that connection, growing in a way that benefits both you and the world. Try this. The next time you feel envy, write down 3 things you admire about the person, then choose one to work on in your own life. Over time, you'll find that envy loses its grip, replaced by a sense of inspiration and purpose. This principle turns a negative emotion into a powerful tool for self-improvement, keeping your peace intact. One of Buddhism's core teachings is to release the need for external validation, a craving that can chain you to stress and anxiety, pulling you away from your true self. Imagine you're at a lively festival in a place like Ubud, Bali, with its vibrant art markets and spiritual energy. The air is filled with the scent of frangipani flowers, the sound of gamelan music drifting through the crowd. You're surrounded by people, locals selling hand-carved masks, tourists snapping photos, friends laughing over coconut water, and you feel the pressure to fit in. You want to say the right thing, to be the person they expect, to be liked by everyone. You catch yourself adjusting your words, smiling a little wider, hoping to win their approval. But here's the truth. You can't control how others perceive you, and trying to please everyone often means compromising who you are. Instead, focus on being true to yourself. Understand that not everyone will like you, and that's okay. Your value doesn't depend on their approval. It comes from within, a deep well of self-worth that no one can touch. When you let go of this need, you'll feel a profound freedom, a lightness that allows you to live authentically. This doesn't mean being unkind or indifferent. It means not tying your self-worth to others' opinions. I used to worry about what my coworkers thought of me at a marketing firm in Jakarta. I'd spend hours replaying conversations, wondering if I'd said something to offend someone, adjusting my behavior to fit in. But one day during a team meeting, I decided to speak my truth, even if it risked disapproval. I shared an idea that went against the group's consensus, my voice trembling but firm. To my surprise, I felt more confident, more at peace, and the right people respected me for it. Those who didn't, I realized their opinions didn't define me. This principle is about cultivating self-acceptance, a cornerstone of Buddhist practice. When you seek validation from others, you give them power over your happiness, handing them the reins to your inner peace. But when you root your worth in your own values, kindness, integrity, authenticity, you become unshakable. Imagine walking through that festival in Ubud, no longer worried about fitting in. You laugh freely, share your thoughts openly, and if someone doesn't resonate with you, you let it be. You're not here to be liked, you're here to be you. Practically, you can start by noticing when the desire to be liked arises. Maybe it's when you're posting on social media, hoping for likes, or when you're at a family gathering trying to avoid conflict. Pause and ask yourself, am I acting from authenticity or from a need for approval? Then choose authenticity even if it feels uncomfortable at first. Over time, you'll find that external judgments lose their power, and your inner peace grows stronger, unshaken by the opinions of others. Buddhism teaches a delicate balance, Hold yourself to high standards while showing patience and compassion toward others. Being strict with yourself means taking responsibility for your growth, setting goals, maintaining discipline, and striving to be your best self. Imagine you're in a quiet village in Bhutan, surrounded by prayer flags fluttering in the wind, the air crisp with the scent of pine. You wake up each morning with a commitment to meditate, sitting on a woven mat as the first light of dawn paints the mountains gold. You journal your thoughts, reflecting on how you can be more mindful, more compassionate. You're disciplined in your practice, setting a goal to read a Buddhist sutra each week to deepen your understanding of the Dharma. But then you encounter someone, let's call him Sonam, who doesn't share your values. He's a local farmer you meet at the village market, and he's late for a meeting you'd arranged to discuss a community project. When he finally arrives, he's disorganized, his excuses half-hearted, and he seems to disregard your efforts to keep things on track. Instead of judging Sonam, practice tolerance. Everyone is on their own journey, shaped by their own struggles. Sonam might be dealing with a sick child at home, or the stress of a poor harvest season challenges you can't see beneath his flustered exterior. His actions reflect his experiences, not his worth as a person. By being compassionate, you create space for understanding and kindness to flourish. This balance, discipline for yourself, tolerance for others, keeps your peace intact. You focus on your growth while letting go of the need to control or change those around you. I've learned this through my own journey. I hold myself to a strict routine of mindfulness, waking up at 5 a.m. to meditate and journal in my small apartment in Thimphu. But when my friend, let's call her May, cancels plans last minute again, I remind myself to be patient. She's been struggling with anxiety, and her flakiness isn't about me. It's part of her path. I send her a kind message, offering support, and return to my practice, my peace undisturbed. This principle embodies the middle way. Rigor without harshness, tolerance without laxity. It's about recognizing that while you can control your own actions, you can't control others. Sonam's tardiness doesn't have to derail your day. May's unreliability doesn't have to spark resentment. Instead, you can use these moments to practice compassion, to extend the same kindness to others that you'd hope to receive. Try this. Set a personal goal. Maybe a daily meditation practice or a commitment to speak with kindness, and hold yourself accountable. But when someone falls short of your expectations, pause, take a breath and remind yourself, they're doing their best just as I am. This balance not only preserves your peace but also fosters harmony in your relationships, making you a source of calm in a chaotic world. In Buddhism, the idea that no one can hurt you stems from the truth that your inner peace is yours to protect. External events, harsh words, unkind actions, only have power if you let them in. Imagine you're sitting by a serene lake in a place like Pokhara, Nepal, the water reflecting the snow-capped Himalayas, the air cool and fresh. You're on a solo retreat, seeking solitude after a hectic month, when someone, let's call him Raj, approaches. He's a fellow traveler, but his mood is sour. He criticizes your choices, his voice sharp. Why would you come here alone? That's so boring. You should be out exploring the city. His words are like stones thrown into the lake, sending ripples across the surface. The ripples spread, but the depths remain untouched. That's your inner self, unshakable unless you allow the stones to sink in. You can't control what happens around you, but you can control how you respond. Acknowledge Raja's words, feel the initial sting, but don't let it define you. His criticism might stem from his own discomfort with solitude, his own need for constant stimulation. It's not about you, it's about him. I once faced a harsh critique from a mentor, let's call her Sita, who questioned my abilities during a writing workshop in Kathmandu. We were sitting in a small room, the walls adorned with Thangka paintings, when she said, "Your work lacks depth. You'll never make it as a writer." At first, I felt wounded, my confidence shaken. But then I remembered, her words can't touch my core unless I let them. I chose to see her feedback as a chance to grow, not a reflection of my worth. I thanked her, went back to my notebook, and poured my heart into my next piece, using her critique as fuel for improvement. This principle is about cultivating inner strength through mindfulness. When someone's words or actions hurt, pause and observe your reaction. Where do you feel it? In your chest, your stomach? Notice the emotion, but don't cling to it. Let it pass, knowing that your true self, The part of you that is vast and unshakable, like the depths of that lake in Pokhara, remains untouched. You might even visualize a protective shield around your heart, a golden light that deflects negativity while keeping your compassion intact. Practically, you can practice this in daily life. When a coworker snaps at you, when a stranger glares on the bus, when a loved one says something hurtful in the heat of the moment. Each time, remind yourself, they can't hurt me unless I let them. Over time, this mindset becomes a fortress, keeping your peace safe from external storms. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. In Buddhism, suffering arises not from pain itself but from our resistance to it. Imagine you're hiking in the misty hills of Darjeeling, India, the air thick with the scent of tea leaves, the path winding through emerald green plantations. You're halfway up a steep trail, your breath visible in the cool morning air, when a sharp pain shoots through your ankle, a sprain from a misstep on a loose rock. Your first instinct might be to fight it, to curse the trail, to wish it away. Why did this have to happen now? But that resistance only deepens your frustration, turning a moment of pain into a cycle of suffering. Instead, make peace with the pain. Accept it as a natural part of the human experience, as temporary as the morning fog rolling through the hills. Sit with the pain literally if you can. Find a flat rock on the trail, sit down, and observe the sensation without fear. What does it feel like? Is it a sharp stab, a dull ache? Where does it sit in your body? By acknowledging it mindfully, you remove the anxiety that amplifies it. Pain is a teacher, revealing areas for growth. That sprain might remind you to slow down, to care for your body, to be present in each step. It might even teach you resilience, showing you that you can keep going, even when the path gets tough. I once went through a heartbreak that felt unbearable. Let's call him Arjun, the one who left. We'd spent a year together, building dreams in a small apartment in Mumbai, when he decided to move abroad for work, leaving me behind. I resisted the pain, replaying what I could have done differently, clinging to the hope that he'd come back. But when I finally sat with it, journaling my feelings in a quiet cafe overlooking the Arabian Sea, I realized it was teaching me about self-love and resilience. The pain showed me where I'd neglected my own needs, where I'd tied my happiness to someone else. In Buddhism, pain is not a punishment but an opportunity for reflection and growth. It's impermanent, just like the seasons in Darjeeling. Spring's blooms give way to summer's heat, then autumn's chill. Pain too will pass. When you stop fearing it and see it as part of life's ebb and flow, its power over you diminishes. You become stronger, knowing you have the inner strength to face it with calm. Try this. The next time you feel pain, physical, emotional, or mental, don't run from it. Sit with it for 5 minutes, breathing deeply, observing it without judgment. You might even speak to it. I see you, pain. I know you're here, but you won't define me. This practice builds resilience, turning pain into a teacher rather than an enemy, and keeping your peace intact. Gratitude is a cornerstone of Buddhist practice, a key to unlocking inner peace. It shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have, grounding you in abundance. Imagine you're in a small cafe in Lhasa, Tibet, sipping butter tea as the sun rises over the mountains, casting a golden glow on the Potala Palace in the distance. The cafe is humble, with wooden tables worn smooth by years of use, and the barista, a young woman named Tenzin, smiles as she refills your cup. You take a moment to reflect. The warmth of the tea, the kindness in Tenzin's smile, the simple fact that you're alive to witness this moment, breathing in the crisp Himalayan air. Gratitude doesn't need grand gestures. It's in the small joys, the quiet beauty of the present. In our fast-paced lives, we often chase more success, more things, more validation. We scroll through social media, comparing ourselves to others, feeling like we're always one step behind. But this creates a cycle of dissatisfaction, a restless longing that steals our peace. Gratitude breaks that cycle, training your mind to see abundance. Even in tough times, there's something to be thankful for. I remember a period of financial struggle when I lived in a tiny studio in Chengdu, China. I'd lost my job, and the uncertainty weighed heavily on me. But each night I wrote down 3 things I was grateful for. A warm meal of spicy noodles from a street vendor, a call from a friend who made me laugh, the sunset painting the sky in shades of pink and orange. That practice kept me grounded, reminding me that even in scarcity, there was enough. Gratitude also strengthens relationships. Express appreciation for the people in your life. Thank Tenzin for her kindness. Honor a challenge for its lessons. When I started thanking my friends for their support, like my friend Lamo, who always listened when I needed to vent, I noticed our bond deepen. Gratitude reduces resentment, keeping your peace intact. At the end of each day, reflect. What went right today? Maybe it's the sound of rain on your window, the laughter of a child, the fact that you made it through a tough day. Over time, this rewires your mind to seek positivity, making you less affected by external negativity. You might even start a gratitude jar, writing down one thing you're thankful for each day, and reading them at the end of the month. This practice not only fosters peace, but also reminds you of the abundance already present in your life. Acceptance is a cornerstone of Buddhist wisdom, a path to overcoming suffering. It's not about giving up. It's about embracing reality as it is without resistance. Imagine you're in a bustling market in Marrakesh, Morocco, the air filled with the scent of spices, cumin, saffron, mint, and the sound of vendors calling out their wares. You're weaving through the crowd, a woven basket in hand, when you receive news of a delayed flight. You were supposed to fly back to your home in Casablanca that evening, but now you're stuck for another day. Your instinct is to fight it. This shouldn't be happening. I have work tomorrow. But that resistance only adds to your stress, turning a minor inconvenience into a source of suffering. Acceptance says, this is the situation, and I can find a way forward. At the heart of acceptance is impermanence. Everything changes. The vibrant market in Marrakesh will quiet down at night, the vendors packing up their stalls. Your flight will eventually take off, and this moment of frustration will fade. Joy, pain, success, failure, they all pass. By accepting this, you stop clinging to the good or fearing the bad. You let go of the need to control what's beyond your reach, like the airline schedule or the weather that caused the delay. I once lost a job I loved at a nonprofit in Fez, where I'd spent years working on community projects. I spent weeks wishing things were different, replaying every meeting, wondering what I could have done to save my position. But when I accepted the reality that the organization was downsizing, that it wasn't personal, I found peace. And a new path opened up. I started freelancing, which gave me the freedom to travel and work on projects I was truly passionate about. Acceptance also applies to relationships. We often get upset when people don't meet our expectations, but they're on their own journeys. The vendor in Marrakesh who overcharges you, the friend who forgets to call, they're not acting against you. They're navigating their own challenges. Accept them as they are, and you'll find harmony. This doesn't mean tolerating harm. It means not letting their actions disturb your peace. Acceptance, paired with mindfulness, keeps you grounded in the present, free from the cycle of what-ifs that fuel anxiety. The next time you face a setback, try this. Write down the situation as it is without judgment. Then write one step you can take to move forward. This simple act of acceptance can transform frustration into clarity, keeping your peace intact. Living according to nature means aligning with life's natural rhythms. Impermanence, interdependence, simplicity. Imagine you're in a forest in the Pacific Northwest. The air crisp with the scent of cedar, the ground soft with moss underfoot. You notice how the trees don't resist the seasons. They shed their leaves in autumn, their branches bare against the gray sky, trusting the cycle of renewal that spring will bring. In the same way, you can let go of the need to control everything, flowing with life's changes. The forest doesn't cling to summer's warmth or fear winter's chill. It simply is, present in each moment. Simplicity is key. Modern life, with its endless distractions, notifications pinging on your phone, the pressure to keep up with trends, the chase for material things, clouds your mind. By simplifying, you make room for peace. This might mean decluttering your space, donating clothes you don't wear, clearing your desk of unnecessary papers, or letting go of the need for constant excitement. I once spent a weekend in a cabin in Oregon, with no Wi-Fi, no TV, just the sound of the river outside my window. At first, I felt restless, my fingers itching to check my phone. But as I sat by the river watching its steady flow, I realized how much I'd been missing by chasing distractions. I spent the day hiking, cooking a simple meal over a fire, and writing in my journal, the silence filling me with a peace I hadn't felt in years. Living in tune with nature also means embracing impermanence. Seasons change and so does life. The river in that forest will shift its path over time, The trees will grow and eventually fall. When you accept this, you stop fearing change and start savoring the present. It's about being true to your own nature. 2. Living authentically, beyond society's expectations. In a world that often pressures you to fit in, to chase success at all costs, Buddhism encourages you to live in a way that honors your values, your dreams, your unique self. Respect the natural world. Treat the earth and its creatures with care, knowing you're part of a connected web. Pick up litter on your hike, plant a tree, or simply sit in gratitude for the air you breathe. This deep connection brings a sense of peace, grounding you in something greater than yourself. If you've ever used mindfulness to find calm in chaos, type 1 in the comments. If you're just starting your mindfulness journey, type 2. You're in the right place. As we close this journey through 10 Buddhist principles, let's reflect on the path we've walked together. You've discovered how to let insults drift like clouds, how to see every person as a teacher, how to transform envy into growth, and how to release the need for approval. You've learned to balance discipline with compassion, to protect your inner peace, to make peace with pain, to cultivate gratitude, to accept life's impermanence, and to live in harmony with nature. These teachings, rooted in the timeless wisdom of Buddhism, are your guide to remaining unshakable, no matter what life brings. Imagine standing on a cliff overlooking the ocean, perhaps in a place like the Amalfi Coast, Italy, the waves crashing below as the sun sets in a blaze of gold. The world around you may be chaotic, relationships shifting, work pressures mounting, the cosmic energies of this spring 2025 alignment stirring your emotions. But within you there's a stillness, a deep knowing that you are enough, that you are whole, that you are unshakable. This is the power of these principles. They don't just shield you from the storm, they teach you to become the calm within it. Let's take a moment to deepen this reflection. Close your eyes if you can and picture a time when you felt truly at peace. Maybe it was a quiet morning in your garden, the dew glistening on the leaves, or a moment of laughter with a loved one, their warmth filling your heart. What did that peace feel like? Where did you feel it in your body? Hold that sensation close because it's a reminder of what's possible. A peace that no external force can take away. These Buddhist principles are not just ideas. They're practices, tools to return to that peace again and again. Now let's bring this wisdom into your daily life. Start small. The next time you face a challenge, a harsh word, a moment of envy, a wave of pain, pause. Take a deep breath and choose one of these principles to guide you. Maybe you'll let the insult pass like a cloud, or you'll find gratitude in the midst of struggle. Each time you practice, you strengthen your inner resilience, building a foundation that no storm can shake. Your journey toward peace begins now, and it's a journey you don't have to walk alone. At Daily Buddhist, we're here to support you every step of the way. Have you experienced moments of unexpected calm or insight? Share your story in the comments. Your journey could inspire someone else. This cosmic alignment we're experiencing is a wake-up call, a reminder that true peace comes from within, not from the external world. It's a chance to let go of what no longer serves you. The need for approval, the resistance to pain, the attachment to outcomes, and to embrace what does. Mindfulness, gratitude, acceptance. Imagine the ripple effect of your peace, how it touches your relationships, your work, your community. When you embody these principles, you become a beacon of calm, a light for others in the storm. Let's commit to one mindful practice today. Take 5 minutes to sit in stillness, focusing on your breath. Notice the air moving in and out, the rise and fall of your chest. If your mind wanders, gently bring it back. This simple act of presence is a powerful step toward unshakable peace. Or perform an act of compassion. Smile at a stranger, thank a friend, honor the earth by picking up a piece of litter. These small actions align you with the natural flow of life, grounding you in the wisdom of these teachings. The beauty of Buddhism is that it meets you where you are. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have it all figured out. All you need is the willingness to begin, to take one step toward peace. The wisdom you seek has always been within you. It's in the stillness between your thoughts, the gratitude in your heart, the acceptance in your breath. As you move forward, carry these principles with you, knowing that you have the power to remain unshakable, no matter what comes your way. Peace is not found by seeking, but by pausing, breathing, and embracing the present. Click subscribe now. Your path to inner peace starts here with Daily Buddhist. Let's walk this journey together.